to you live from beautiful South Pasadena, California, and DNHQ2. This is Blue Heaven Podcast. And we're pre-gaming over here.
Cheersy. Sucker.
There it is. That wasn't an awkward way to do it. We are powered by the Overtime Podcast Network. What's up, Dodgers Nation? My name is Clint. You can find me as RealFRG on Twitter and Instagram. Did you know that? You knew that.
I don't follow you yet, but if I figure out how to use the internet, I will follow you. My name is Brooke. You can find me at BrookeMe3 on Twitter and Instagram. And before we get going on today's wonderful, amazing, illustrious show, we have to remind you, everybody out there, everybody watching, many of you, however many there are,
billions.
Dodgers Nation will be at the games on Friday and Saturday to turn up with all of you.
That's going to be money. So, yeah, come hang out with us. We're going to be hanging around different variants of the Loge on both days. But
Loge Life? I'm used to Pavilion Life, but I'll take Loge Life.
You seem like you're on one.
It's a good day. I had to rush to get here.
You seem active.
I was in traffic.
So on today's show, we got a lot to talk about. We got to break down the trade deadline letdown, because it was straight up. That's a letdown. That was not what anybody expected.
We have different opinions.
But
Gonzo's on the podcast, on the stream.
Hi again. But it is now officially. There's one in and one on. It is now officially prospect season.
And Leo season.
And Leo season. God, I hate you all. Had a special exclusive interview today with Gavin Lux. Coolest dude you're ever going to talk to on the phone for 25 minutes. Joc Pederson. That's it. That's just the topic. And more.
Joc Talk. We're calling it Joc Talk.
Joc Talk.
I just thought of that.
Actually, the funny thing, that's what I titled it on Restream. So you stole it from me. I got an A from Janae. What's up, Janae?
Janae. That's why she does it. That's
friend
good.
of the show. Before we get too far, we have to shout out our friends over at sportscaster.com. At Sportscaster, you can look like a pro, sound like a pro, be the star of your own show. So you're going to want to check them out. You can get access to special events. They have built-in studio graphics, a bunch of cool stuff. So if you want to live stream like us, or game, or be your own broadcaster, like, whatever your deal is, go to sportscaster.com. That is CASTR.com today. But after our show, that'd be rude if you guys left us.
Please go after our show, because we're really important and we'd like you to listen to everything that we have to say, and we have a lot to say today.
Yes.
But don't forget, guys, it is indeed a live stream. And so with that, we need your questions, we need your comments, we need your input. So wherever you are, wherever you're representing Dodgers Nation tonight, make sure you drop it. Let us know where you're watching from. Area codes, cities, states,
date of birth,
Social Security, mother's maiden name, whatever you need, we really want to hear that. So
stream is lit, and there are there's four of us in here. There's four of us, but we have a special guest.
We do have a special guest on today's show. We're used to having guests on the show, but we don't get guests from the other side of the country too often. On today's show, welcoming you all the way from, what part of Tennessee do you live in?
Just outside Nashville.
Just outside Nashville, which is inside of Tennessee somewhere. You know him as, I mean, I'm not wrong. I'm just not really right. So, don't get mad at me about it. Mr. AJ Gonzalez. You might know him as at AJ on the guitar himself on Twitter. Our DN writer. AJ, what's going on, man?
Hey, not a whole lot. A lot of fun traveling. By fun, I mean kind of dull, but
you had a busy day. You took a train. You took a lift. In LA traffic.
Hey,
struggle bus.
That's a rite of passage.
Well, did you? Yeah, that's one thing you didn't. You didn't take a struggle bus.
I did take a bus.
But was it a struggle bus?
Not really.
You let us know in the comments below.
Please let us know.
So we got to dig into a lot of the questions here, guys. We got Tim on the stream. What's going on, Tim? We'll see you tomorrow at Dodger Stadium. What is up?
Oh, man, I can't wait to see Tim.
A lot is up, and we're behind the wire, behind the clock. We're under the fire of the clock because the game is coming on right after us. So, if he's your Alana Rizzo, I think I'm Jay Hare, whatever. But you guys can actually watch us. Yes.
Oh.
Yes, because you block all those people who called you ISIS.
No blocks.
No blocks here. Dan Preciado says fire Rodman, but he does it with the SpongeBob meme. Yeah, SpongeBob. I get it. Yeah,
it's recognizable.
I was very happy with when I came up with this one. We got Rojo Thor. I think that's what eventually the name's got to be. It's Rojo Thor.
Rojo Thor.
Yeah,
well, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Is there like a Spanish Thor? Is that like a name?
We.
How do you say hammer in Spanish?
That's how you say it.
Like that.
You
He's
say
Rojo.
Oh man, so we got people popping in. We got Dan saying May is a go for tomorrow. We got, do you see somebody asking about Lux and May in the postseason roster? You know, these are great questions, and we're gonna get to the prospect stuff in a little bit later on in the stream. But we have to talk about the very important thing. Oh, we got Ben. It says my primo AJ. It's going on. You got Ben in the stream.
Hey Ben, how you doing?
Benji.
Pedro says that it's martillo. That's how you say hammer. That's
right.
way less fun than I was hoping.
No mames, way.
Yeah.
We got 602 here. We got Sweet Ginger Day tomorrow from Tim. Randy Shipley. Hey guys, trying to do Twitter. Wow. Randy's is going hard. Randy is watching everything. Wow. That's a very impressive.
Twitter, Facebook, AM 570, iHeartRadio, Dodgers pregame, all at once.
Hashtag engagements.
Yeah.
So he's our Vassay then.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
I'll take it. No, that's good.
We love Vassay. He's a nice fella. So, guys, we did it. Reddit, we did it. We got Jed Jerko. And I swear I am struggling so hard to continue to remember this dude. Was it Adam Conover? Is that who it is? Kokosevic? What's his name? Choleric.
Copacetic.
It's hard to spell his last name. I found that out today. Like, I kept doing it.
It's Kolarek.
Kolar. That doesn't really help me.
So he's a dude who throws with his left-hand side arm, and he does the sports ball left-handed, but he throws, and we need a lefty.
He's also very good against left-handed hitting, which we have not had a loogie in a while, like a legit loogie. We have not.
Since Joe Beimel.
Oh, Joe Beimel. Where's Joe Beimel at? Today I found out where David Eckstein is. He was at the bottom of the pile between the Pirates and Reds.
David Eckstein?
Eckstein's on the team. I was like, holy crap, we were just talking about him. And I was like, I wonder where Eckstein is. There he was, getting his ass kicked. By the Reds manager.
That was such an incredible good, I tells you what. But I'd say the most painful part of all the trades that we lost, my favorite whipping boy. Wait, do I have it? Brock. We will always...
honor you.
Yes.
Love
Kids
you?
say we'll always love you. You know, he's cool. I met him at spring training.
We
He's the
really
nicest
like
dude.
your dad.
His dad, very cool scout for Tampa Bay. Brock was a cool dude. Unfortunately, he got rushed, and then he got hurt, and then things just didn't work out for him. And it looks like hopefully Brock will have some runway. He'll have some opportunity there with the Blue Jays in Toronto because Lord knows they need help.
What are the odds Brock throws a no-hitter against the Dodgers at some point?
High.
Wait,
Pretty
we're
high,
going.
right?
Toronto's coming to us, or we're going to Toronto pretty soon. So yeah,
The Dodgers aren't allowed in Canada.
Wow, and you're not allowed in Miami.
That's true. I'm not allowed in Miami.
Brock block.
Block.
And Diamond Hoggers, Clint Evans is going to be crying about this one. We lost Rocky Gale, the
Rocky.
ultimate.
Skinny David Freeze.
Gale Force wins.
Gale Force, see you later. But he's going to Tampa Bay, which means he's going to put up, about 15 home runs?
Yeah, I mean,
Because-
that tends to happen whenever catchers from the Dodgers go to Tampa Bay. So
As
it
a
is what
backup
it
to
is.
Travis Darnaud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're both going to just crush like 30 more
He
home
was
runs
the
the rest
I
of the
think
year.
he was the catcher of the month in baseball for July.
He was, yeah.
All of 10 at bats or whatever he got from with the
like
Dodgers.
10 home runs, 10 at-bats in Tampa.
But no, we're not literally. I see South Central in the stream here. We're not literally going to Toronto, but the Dodgers are playing in Toronto, I think. Or
I'm not
whichever
allowed
one.
in Canada for sure.
Okay, cool. Tim says the Jays are coming here. Thank you, Tim.
Oh,
Look
thank
at that.
God.
He's the best.
Toronto in town just before the Yankees.
Brian Fatfield. Brian Hatfield says, "Hi, ladies. What's going on, Brian? Appreciate you, buddy." What are your thoughts, AJ? You were there. You survived it. I want to hear your thoughts first. What did this? How did this deadline? What aftertaste does this deadline leave for you?
The trade deadline. We were all sure that Vasquez was coming, that we were going to outweight whatever absurd, thing they were asking, like Bellinger, Lux, May, and a pack of beef jerky that they were asking for, and then
Too far.
and then it didn't happen, and so
Yes.
okay, well maybe they're going to get Green. Nope, no Green. And then, a couple days before, we were thinking maybe Diekman would be a good, under the radar thing, and
Yeah, then
that
he moved.
Didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then when I saw the Kolarek thing, I was like, cool, I'll be right back. I have to go look him up on the internet. And
Awesome. We got somebody who
Cool, let me go check him out real quick.
I mean, I don't know every single player, but
I know very few.
it's it's one of those things where I'm kind of torn because, in a couple of years, sure, we're going to all be tweeting, hey, good thing we didn't give away Lux. Hey, good thing we didn't give away May when he invariably wins the Cy Young.
Yep.
But we want to win now. Like, Dodgers Nation, Dodger fans as in general, we're going to need a therapy after those 2 back-to-back losses. The first one stung the most. And that's the team that went out and did the most at the trade deadline.
I think McKenna had said it best on Twitter, where she was like,
"Give me my Barnes jersey."
Well, other than that, she also was requested the Barnes jersey, the Barnes AAA jersey, by the way. She said, in 2017 you get Darvish, you lose the World Series. 2018 you get Machado, you lose the World Series. 2019 you get no one, and you win the World Series probably.
Because we're going to use those guys that we would have traded. We're going to use them. They're going to be plugged right into the. Well, one's getting plugged right into the rotation tomorrow.
Excellent.
So shouts to McKenna. I think she nailed it. She got the formula down, and I think somebody from like MLB.com or something like some important person with a blue check mark next to her name said essentially the same thing the next day after she had said it, and I was like, she nailed it.
It's probably
go on that one.
It's probably Doug McCain.
It's probably Doug McCain.
That's my
verified.
Vote. It's verified.
Well, I can't remember. It was one of us or somebody that we know that said, "All right, it's time to call up the depth that we refuse to give up. It's time to call him up." And there's Gonsolin. He pitched great the other day. On the surface of the moon, where you're not supposed to pitch good.
You're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to pitch well. And then
surface of the moon, I like that.
We've got Ginger Guard. Whatever nickname you choose is totally cool.
That's a debate. That's coming up later on in the show, guys. We got to pick the
he's
official
coming in
nickname.
and he's supposed to be the second coming of Ginger Guard. So.
Or the first coming.
Or the first coming.
Who came first, the Ginger Guard or the Ginger Guard? You let us know in the comments below. I saw, where was it? Oh, Tatiana says, Nerdy Dodger says she's powerful. So, I mean, McKenna is very powerful. We know this. She
can confirm.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of her.
That's MLB Network superstar McKenna.
Anytime she brings up the jersey, I'm like, oh, God.
Like, anybody could make the bracket and have 1-5 talk about it on air. Like, you owe that person a jersey. I'm just saying. But what they didn't do, like we already alluded to, they didn't get Vasquez, they didn't get Diaz, they didn't go get Elias, they didn't get the other guy who was everybody's, they're going to fall back and they're going to get Green. There's no way they're not going to get Shane Green. You know who didn't get them was the Dodgers. Who did get them was, or Green was Atlanta. And now, AJ and I were talking about this just before the show, you're looking at Atlanta, now that's the moves they made, a little bit of like just bullpen help and bringing in some adults, if we will. Yeah. That's a scary team now.
No.
Oh.
No. Atlanta's trash.
Is it because it's that close to Miami?
Not as bad as Miami. Good God, help Miami. Listen, a lot of people were very upset about this deadline, and I understand why people were so upset. But when you look back at the past and the things that people have asked for in the past and teams have asked for in the past, there's very obviously across Major League Baseball a Dodger tax in the same way that there is a Yankee tax, in the same way that there is now kind of a Cubs tax. Teams are expecting that if one of those teams wants something from them, that they're going to go after their farm systems. They're going to go after their depth. They're going to take some of their top prospects. The Astros have run into a really similar situation where they have a very good farm system. And then they traded like 5 of their top 20 prospects for the weird guy.
Frankie?
Yeah, the weirdo.
The weird guy.
The freak. So that's been demonstrated time and time again across baseball that people will ask much higher of the Dodgers than they will anybody else. Mm-hmm. And I think that rings incredibly true when you look at the package that Shane Green went for. Like, he didn't go for very much. And that the early reports were that they were asking for some of the bigger names from the Dodgers. They weren't asking for those from everybody else. And what they ended up getting was not even close to that. So in terms of trusting the front office, in terms of trusting that Friedman's going to do the right thing, I 100% think he absolutely did. I'm a huge prospect hugger to a fault usually, and I think Tim will also agree with me on this. But he had even said that, did you know they got, because of the compensation pick that they got Will Smith out of that pick. When you're talking about letting players walk, when you're talking about players getting traded, things like this, letting people walk away, there's a reason why they do the things that they do. And if we hadn't, there's so many different decisions where if they hadn't done something like that, then we wouldn't have some of these players. If they had really gone in on JT Real Muto, who's not having that great of a season by his standards, you don't have a MVP year from Cody Bellinger. You probably don't have 70-plus wins right now because he's a big contributor to that. But it was Zach Greinke when they let him walk. That's how they got the Will Smith. That's how they got the Will Smith signing for the compensation pick, which the compensation picks have changed this year, so it's not the same.
And funny enough, it was Greinke who was like, "Oh yeah, I'd replace AJ Ellis. I want a catcher on this team."
And they were like, "Deal.
They got one.
Go ahead and leave, and we'll get
run.
one." So, in terms of them not making any moves, I was fine with it. I was fine to watch all of our top 5 prospects stay. I was fine to watch all of our top 10 prospects stay, and realizing that so many of these guys are so close to being like major league ready, and a lot of them are major league ready.
Yeah.
You look at like Edwin Rios and Matt Beatty, who you didn't think would be up this year at any point because there's just not a space for them. But you knew on any other team in baseball that they'd either have a bench role or they'd be starting somewhere. Like Matt Beatty absolutely should be starting every day for some baseball team. And God bless them, they found a spot for him on this lineup, and I'm thankful for it because, he came on our show.
He's a friend of the show, and we're still trying to get his wife on our softball team. So these are the important implications of that.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about it off and on for all of the last month, if not longer, echoing what you're talking about here, Brooke. It's like everybody knows how good the Dodgers are. Everybody knows how good their farm system is. I was talking to Gavin Lux about it, a little drop in the hat there, talking to Gavo, my friend Gavo today. Gavo. About like, I said it last week, like 7 or 8 major league teams would kill to have the OKC lineup as their major league roster. And people are tired of the Dodgers winning. The narrative, you're already seeing that. Think about it. I mean, AJ, you see the BS. You see the nightmare that is the cesspool of Twitter. You've seen every time we play certain fan groups or whatever, it becomes whatever. They just pay for their championships or they pay for their teams. Like, we haven't paid for our team in how long?
I'd pay for a championship. I don't know how much they cost, but I'll pay for it.
Yeah, I got 5 on it. But we're not paying for the Agons anymore. I mean, I think we're technically still paying for Agon, but we're not paying for those types anymore. We're not paying. Oh, Agon's finally done, but it's not a money team anymore. It's, I think, after they bring up May, depending on who they send down, which will most likely be like Shagwala or something like that. There's still going to be like 17 homegrown prospects.
More than anybody.
More than anybody. Way more. This is a homegrown team. Dodgers aren't paying for their team. They're not paying their way into the playoffs. That narrative's dead. And now people are seeing like, oh, crap, they were able to, pay their way and then get good, and now they're getting good from internal. We don't want that. We want all your guys. And we've sent a lot of guys out over the last 3 trade deadlines. And I wanted to get better. I wanted our Vasquez because that dude is just ridiculous at the back end of that bullpen when you look at it. But I'm on board saying I'm okay holding on to our guys, especially my good friend Gabbo.
Good boy Gabbo.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? It was the right call then. You're saying it's the right call to hold on to everybody and just let them start being the trades are bringing up our prospects?
I think it was absolutely the right call. I think in the moment, depending on your level of frustration after the past 2 World Series losses,
right,
it definitely probably was frustrating. I mean, a bunch of us made those comments like initially because that's just the way things go when there's things for sale and you don't get them. But ultimately we didn't spend on them. But I mean, I think I saw Tim in the comments right now saying that the Astros definitively have paid for their rotation. They are all bought players.
All of them are bought players.
At the expense of what? They gave away my favorite named prospect, Seth Beer.
Yes, dude.
Is that guy going to be crushing 40 home runs in 2 years?
No, he's going to be crushing 40s in 2 years.
He's going to be crushing 40s. But
40s.
So we have the luxury of not going over the luxury. We have the luxury of keeping these kids so we're going to be perennial World Series teams every year.
Yeah. And that was the question we had on our DN Twitter earlier in the week. Is like, again, it's very, very hypothetical. We understand that the real world doesn't work that way. However, if you can trade some of your top guys and guarantee the championship this year, would you do that? Or would you rather be in contention for the next 10 years and actually, try to do it for real or whatever?
I have important news.
What you got?
Perez 1619 is finally logged in on Twitch.
We're proud of you.
Perez,
you missed
Miami
it.
Sucks.
You missed it. By the way, Michelle Carter says no dog with a sad face. No, Mello could not be here. Melly couldn't be here.
Oh, Mello, yeah.
Yeah, the dog. Because remember there was
I had
a
a
dog.
lot of people DM me and ask me why there was a dog on the show.
You got to tune into the whole show.
You got to watch it. I don't know what to tell you.
Jess,
dog.
Yeah.
Jess is in the stream. Jess says, I'll help pay for that championship. Send me the bill. I'm seeing a few of those as well.
We started a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe or whatever.
Jack's in the throw in for sure. I saw Nola has a good point, but I want to let's get into that right there because we're already talking about Greinke. You're talking about them paying for it.
We're going to talk about his weird habits and the fact that he's a murderer.
I love how creepy murderer
he
is.
Eats
it's fun.
Toenails for sure, 100% guaranteed.
I mean, earlier in the year, he had the "Can I speak to the manager" haircut, and that was fantastic.
Yeah, that's true. And then he's like, "I got to get rid of this. People are making fun of me."
Yeah,
but I'm convinced he hasn't slept in 18 years, like at all.
I mean, who needs sleep?
Not him, apparently.
He's working.
I'm really sad that we don't get to see him hit. By the way.
Yeah. That takes away from his third or fourth Silver Slugger for sure. But
Sure helps us because I'm tired of seeing him hit off of us.
Hit dongs off Kershaw. Yeah. Over that.
Nola brings up, or says, I don't know that Greinke vaults the Astros ahead of the Yankees. I think does not good starting pitching negate good bats more often than not. I think they're pretty evenly matched in some ways, but now that's where I'm scared. That one extra person going, that one extra elite arm, despite his advanced age, that extra elite arm going to Houston makes a huge world of difference now in whatever the NL or the ALCS or the ALDS, wherever they're going to meet up, wherever they're going to hook up. And now, I have zero doubts that the Dodgers could beat the Yankees in a World Series, but that rotation, I'm a little more somewhat frightened of. Of course, we have KGB Tyler White already here to help us with Houston.
He's going to help us get through Houston.
And our favorite BP pitcher has been Zach Greinke for the last few years.
That's true. But I mean, you look at if you look at their playoff roles or playoff successes, obviously Verlander, he's had his series of success. Garrett Cole has been kind of whatever in playoff time with an ERA. He's pretty close to 4 ERA. Greinke, who is now, really, realistically, he has pitched in a pretty decent number of postseasons now. With Milwaukee, with the Dodgers, with Arizona, still got an ERA north of 4. He's not anywhere near what he is during the regular season. He's a lot like Kershaw in that sense. And if you remember, there was only really one playoff run where he was actually pretty good, and that was during, I think it was either 2013 or 2014. But it was only really one series, and he kind of got racked the rest of the series. They're not great playoff pitchers, either of those guys. They're not exceptional playoff pitchers. And if you look at who they have and who the Yankees have exceptional bats, very good bats. And especially if you're playing in both Houston and New York, which are both crackerjack boxes of stadiums, play stadiums they're just made to
Baby
get balls
stadiums.
crushed out of them. And so when you combine that with the fact that the balls are juiced already, I think Houston's going to have a rough time no matter who they throw out there. They could throw Cy Young out there. I think they're going to. If you threw Cy Young out there, he'd probably get crushed.
Well, he's dead.
That too.
He's a little bit dead. He's just
roll the ball out to him.
Sources confirm he's dead.
Yeah.
Patty, I think Patty hits the nail on the head here. Patty says, I was shocked yesterday. Today I'm good.
Yeah.
That's about the summation of the trade deadline.
It took a little coming down.
Yeah, there was a little bit of come down from it. I think sending Brock away helped ease the blow. You look at some of the stuff. Hey, Kolarek, I'm pretty sure Kolarek plays a better first base than Joc Pederson, so that's good. Dave Roberts already said he might get some tongue-in-cheek. He said that Kolarek might get some time at first base because he's out here being a dick. I'm pretty sure that was directed at me. Love you, Dave. We'll see you next week. But the other one, so the other big moves we were talking about is, to get to the World Series, to face these AL teams, for the Dodgers to face these AL teams in the World Series, they have to get through the National League. Chicago got better with Castellanos, yes or no? What do you think, AJ?
At the plate, yeah. In the outfield,
no.
Let's hit to him all day.
But they had that with Schwarber.
That's true.
That's true, but they also had Hayward, who was far more advanced in terms of defense for a little while. And, if you're going to rotate some time in and out with him, that takes that away. Their outfield is really just not defensively good now. And I guess you don't really have to when you play in Chicago because, again, another very small stadium that balls fly out of. And there's not really any real dimensions to Wrigley. It's a beautiful stadium. I'm not
I've been
crapping
there.
on it anyway. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful stadium, but I'm just saying, you don't really need some speedster Gold Glovers out there
No.
to play. That's why they got Schwarber playing out
Yeah,
there. Who
plus-
is a like a offensive lineman, I think, or something like that. I'm not quite sure.
Plus, the wind might be swirling any given way one day, so you never know.
It
what
really
you-
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It pick the ball up once it hits off the ivy.
That was a good move for them though in terms of right-handed bats that they needed. They really needed that. And, like
style of
big
bat.
time.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good park for him to play at too. Coming from Detroit to there, those are way different places, and I think Detroit's much less of a hitter's park than Chicago, depending on the day.
Depending on the day and time of day.
And time
Yeah,
of day.
exactly.
I think that Friedman absolutely knows what he's doing because in terms of, like, let's say we get to the World Series and I had to pick who we're playing against, the Yankees scare me more. Our bullpen, if all the guys are performing as they should, we've got a lot of flamethrowing good pitching righties. We've got Kelly, who's starting to find his stuff. Kenley, who we hope finds his stuff. Pedro Baez, who we forget is our bullpen ace.
Right.
We've got right-handed arms, and most of their sluggers are right-handed hitters. And Andrew Friedman loves his matchups. And so I'm comfortable with a Joe Kelly, with a Pedro Baez facing Alex Bregman, facing the guy that we won't say, who made racist gestures at our own teammates, Altuve. I mean, for the most part, their sluggers are righty, obviously with some exceptions in there.
Yeah.
Now, same with Castellanos, who's righty if we were happen to face Chicago. Obviously, a guy like Rizzo could give us problems. But I think matchup-wise, if our bullpen performs, I'm pretty confident.
By the way, Verdugo was just scratched with left knee soreness, so he's not playing tonight. Friend of the show, Matt Beatty, will be in left field. Good on you, Matt. How much you want to bet? I'm gonna brook it right now that Beatty goes deep tonight.
You got Beatty yard?
Beatty bomb.
Late or early?
No, that's go ahead.
Hey,
Found it. Look
found
at that.
it.
He's locking.
You should
in.
mix them up every day, so I don't know.
No, again, I need to know where they're at. No, that would be a Bader's Taters.
Bader's Taters.
Bader's Taters.
Yeah.
Those. Love you, Matt.
Beatty Bum Bum. That's
Friend-
mine.
Beatty Bum
yeah.
Bum.
That's mine.
I made sure that they knew
It
that
was stolen from.
Sue
It was stolen
ripped you
from
off.
Yep. I was like,
What up, Sue? Every
This guy.
week, just she's gonna find us at the stadium this weekend and be like,
she's
"Why
why
call
do you
me
always
out?
call
Just
me
say-
out on stuff?
Hey, I may be totally useless, but you give me some nicknames for the Twitter feed, and I'm on it.
He's gonna run with it.
There's a hot take, Hillary. That's a hot take. I may be totally useless. AJ on the guitar.
Somebody, Tatiana's
Quarter
saying
today.
she loves that brook it is my catchphrase now. And somebody told me I'd said something during the week that you could brook it, and they were like, you should start saying this all the time on the podcast. So I think I'm just gonna do it, and
I mean,
eventually I'll be able to get it onto a shirt.
Oh.
That's really the only real purpose behind it. I don't
You're
really
gonna
care.
have to talk to Jason, model Jason, and his wife.
Model
Our-
Jason.
our artist model Jason.
He makes shirts look great.
The other move, again, we already alluded a bit to it. So you guys aren't as high on thinking that Atlanta got that much better then for the final part of like the playoff implications and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I'm trying to ignore it so that I keep in a good mood for the most part.
I don't know. Atlanta scares me, guys. I'm just
They
saying.
do.
Atlanta scares me. You got anything on Atlanta? You done?
Atlanta's trash.
All right, cool.
I just go back to the Uribe hands every time I think of
Uribe,
Atlanta.
and then Kimbrel.
Just like in the day.
We already won the trade deadline, by the way, guys, because we got
Tyler White.
Tyler White. We got Christopher Negron.
Cornhole champion of the world, Tyler White.
He has Gator underwear.
He drinks White Claws.
Oh man, no,
Gator underwear.
full on Gator underwear, and he raised that Gator and then hunted that Gator. I'm
He
telling
wears
you.
eye black at the lake.
I live in the South. Is this supposed to be funny? Because I thought it was I thought it was just literal.
He's like, I thought this was everybody.
Yeah, over here. That's,
over here, it's a
that's
little out
funny
of
to us.
fish out of water.
We don't have fancy Gator underwear to give away on our store, but we do have our all new shop, guys. DodgersNation.com/shop. I got to hawk that right now here at the halfway point, but there's a bunch of really cool stuff. We do have our friend of the show shirt. You got our Enough About 88. The time is now, because it just felt right to wear this after the trade deadline. You have that one.
Oh,
where
yeah, me too.
Brooke is doing weird things to himself.
Very itchy today.
There's the launch angle. Chicks dig the launch angle. We got an all new Hunjin Ryu shirt in there.
That's my favorite shirt.
And And Fresh Prince. Check out the Fresh Prince
That's
shirt.
another very good shirt.
Special promo code BHLive20, guys, and you save, guess how much? 20% off of all of your merch. So get it and then have them ship it overnight immediately. You didn't like that? You don't like that one?
I said 20 too loud.
No, the 20 caught me off guard, and I was like, "Whoa, what's happening?"
Who are these
Crazy.
people? Brooke is being loud. All right, T, what do you got for us from stream questions before we go to the second half of our show?
Okay, so I only have a couple of questions right now.
Perfect.
She was asleep.
Yeah.
I wasn't asleep.
Me too.
People just weren't asking the right questions. I'm just joking, guys.
That's at Diamond Hoggers.
Every time.
Sorry, Clint.
Tina G-Man asked, which player do you think will move to second base when Lux is called up, Seager or Lux?
Lux. Lux has no arm.
I'm gonna go Joc just because.
Joc plays second base.
Just because we're gluttons for punishment over here.
He's just Doc yeah, we really like what we've seen from Joc during, batting practice and taking ground balls over there at second. So he's going to be our guy.
That was freakishly good.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I work on
He's done a lot of things for this club. He's put
done a lot of
himself
things
out
for
there.
this
It
club,
was our idea, and
he's
he
a
ran
gamer.
with it. He's a gamer. He's getting there. He's putting in the reps. He's putting in the work. No, he's trying less, and he looks more frustrated. And he's frustrating the whole entire effing team.
Hey, we're not talking about Joc right now.
But that's a
joke.
later segment.
Lux is our second baseman. I think he's our second baseman for a long time.
Mm-hmm. And
Which is good because we haven't had a second baseman for...
In me talking to him today, he says he's totally game.
When's the last time we had a second baseman?
Jeff Kent. I already told that. Jeff Kent.
Oh, the cop.
The cop.
The cop.
He's a cop for sure.
100%.
If there ever was one.
Yeah, he arrests you before asking for your ID. What do you got?
Our boy Perez asked, will Kike make the postseason roster?
Yeah.
I think he kind of has to.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty high on Negron right now.
Okay, well, he had a really good series. But he definitely has the fall back to earth potential for sure.
We talked a lot about Choleric, but why did we get Jed Jerko?
Why not?
That's not an answer. You know what?
Okay, so
That's a farhand answer.
Here's what that is a farhand answer. It's real inside baseball stuff going on too, by the way. I'm convinced that number one, Chris Taylor's arm's a little bit worse than they're letting on.
Probably.
And number two, they have no idea what's wrong with Kike's hand. And I'm convinced of that because they have played that so weird for the past couple of weeks. And part of it had to do with leading up to the trade deadline. Part of it had to do with roster moves, yada, yada. There's, some real inside baseball stuff going on there. But it just seems weird that you haven't heard much about him. And so to me, getting Jerko as depth for that to make sure that you at least have somebody there that can play, somebody in your depth in your farm, doesn't matter. Because look, the worst case scenario, you don't have Kike for the postseason, or you don't have Taylor. One or the other. You don't have one of them. So you need depth in the infield. So a lot of people are like, well, you have Gavin Lux. Just bring Gavin Lux up, and he'll be in the playoffs for you. You got to remember he's a kid. He's going to get his chance in September. He's going to be part of that big call-up then when there's 1,000 people inside the clubhouse or whatever it is. He's going to be a part of that. But if he doesn't perform, then what? Then you're just going to bring up a guy who hasn't been hitting at the major league level to your playoff roster? No, you're not going to do that. You're going to take a guy who has plenty of experience, who's a veteran, who's taken Kenley deep way too many times and has killed us multiple times, and you're going to take that guy with you to the playoffs. And that's why they got Jerko. It makes sense. We didn't really give up anybody for him. Anybody. What did we give up?
A guy who lives in a van down by the river.
Yeah, Van down by the river. He's not pitching for the rest of the year. We're not re-signing him. The compensation picks are way different this year, so even if we could get one from him, it wouldn't be good. And on top of that, we got didn't we get international
cap
pool?
money out of it.
So we got money from it. Who cares?
And cash considerations.
I really think you hit the nail on the head. Jed Jerko's one of those guys that I would put on my list with guys who will just crush the Dodgers but not hit anybody else.
Yeah, we told him,
just got him out of the way.
We were talking last night. I was like, yeah, we're gonna get Daniel Descalso and we're gonna get Jed Jerko and Gerardo Parra. We're gonna get them all on a team, and that way they can't hit us.
I'm calling him Wario for forever.
Yeah, that's fine. Parra's got to get rid of that baby shark thing, though. You don't know about that.
That's pretty bad.
I'm pretty annoyed by that.
What else you got?
Okay, so this is a question from Gail.
Oh, this should be good because I got banned from Canada.
You did ban.
Hold up, yeah.
Banada.
Wow. Okay, she said, late arriving tonight, but I'm curious as to what Brooke did to get banned from my country.
Let's just say,
She also says hi, AJ.
in the Great White North, I am definitely not welcome at a Tim Hortons. Definitely not welcome at a Tim Hortons. So,
We're very proud of you for
and
it.
dude, just up there in the north, dude, when they're playing hockey and doing all that stuff, it's just cool, I don't know. That's the best Canada accent I got.
pretty good.
I
That was
don't know.
not
Is there better?
Canadian.
not
That's
bad.
not offensive, right?
That's bad
Canadians
for a
can't get
hoser.
offended.
I don't know. Like if
Gail?
I did it, people would tell me it's offensive and racist because people are rude to me.
Well, yeah.
Hi, I'm
Looks-
people.
Looks
Hi,
at
I'm,
T.
hello, I am people.
Yeah, I feel uncomfortable right now.
Is that our last question?
I mean, we got more questions on
No,
the
no,
stream,
I mean
but
just
that was
her, just producer questions though.
Yeah, she'll find more.
Perez
We got-
says I'm getting banned from Florida soon. Good, dude. I went to Jacksonville and I almost died, so I'm
Well.
all right with it.
I mean, the Jacksonville 5 survived, and look, we still got Russ Martin, so it all worked out. Well, it all worked out. Jahuli says cash consideration makes the playoff roster. You heard it here first. Best player dude. The Considerations family is truly blessed.
The player to be
So
named
many-
later is just he's moved so many
moved on,
places.
yeah.
So many places.
Kyle's saying edibles. I think we're on edibles. They think we're having too good of a time. Look, we're just trying to survive the trade deadline, guys. It happened. We did our best. It's safe to say the Dodgers did not win this trade deadline. It doesn't mean they lost it. That much is for sure, but they set up the prospects to shine now. That's where we're at. So the next topic is prospect season, guys.
Let's
Last
do it.
3 seasons, like I already said, the Dodgers have traded away a boatload of prospects for players that helped in the postseason. Now, thanks to McKenna, we're going to do it with our guys, with our minor league guys, to be our trade enhancements or whatever.
Head of player production, McKenna.
Yeah, exactly. Player development.
Yeah, there you
I'm
go.
okay with that.
Yeah, we're going internal for the deadline. Will Smith is up. He's raking. You look at what Tony Gonsolin did and how we haven't talked about him yet in whatever 40 minutes is beyond me, and I blame her just like for no reason. Dustin May is coming up to start tomorrow.
I'm stoked.
Gavin Lux is pounding on the door. He's not knocking anymore. He is pounding on that door. He's kicking. There's a lot to unpack here in that little particular section. Let's dig in one by one. The Fresh Prince of Los Angeles.
So eloquent.
I feel like he's just a little bit better than Austin Barnes.
Who?
Too soon.
Whomst? Whomst do you speak
How
of?
good has this dude been?
I was watching that game I was watching yesterday's game at my sister's house, and
Oh wow, name drop.
yeah, hey, yeah.
Wow.
You kind of did anyone else have that feeling like it was going to happen? But then when it happened, it was like, wow, really
Yeah.
again
I was watching it.
against the closer
Yeah.
again.
I know. I was watching it and I was like, I bet you he just goes yard here. And then in the next pitch, I was like, I just laughed. I was like, of course he does.
Of course he
Of
does.
course he goes deep. And I'm sure like Colorado fans were sitting there like, oh, he's about to go deep. Especially since, Davis is not.
No,
Not the
Colorado.
same.
No, Colorado.
Not good.
Colorado fans were sitting there going, "Do I make the comment about they buy their players?" Which shows my ignorance that he's a homegrown rookie.
Uh-huh.
The whole meme with the 2 red buttons.
It's
Yeah.
like, what do
Yeah,
I
that's
do?
what they were
Or
doing,
complain
yeah.
about Colorado.
Yeah,
Good
I mean,
call.
that's how it goes.
But Michael Ford, Verdugo was a scratch with a knee issue. We do got to remember. Oh, Perez 1619 says Brooke is better than Austin Barnes. Also,
I'm
Good
a
couple of
terrible
points.
catcher and I'm a worst hitter, but that's fine.
framing.
Also, Will Smith, he's 6 for 13 since his
Second call up, third call up,
Is that good?
third call up. Yeah.
second third. Second
I think
third.
that's pretty good. I think he's hitting like over 400, so that's good. And in the process, he's only hit 2 home runs since he came back.
coward.
Trash.
Did you guys see the awesome little thing I put out today on DodgersNation.com, which was a fun stat where in the modern era, Will Smith is the only rookie to ever have 3 homers in the ninth or 3 homers in the ninth that were go-ahead hits for their team as a rookie. I don't know. They're finding all these BS stats these days, but you know what? Will Smith is the guy. So, YOLO.
Do you know
Keep
what's
it back
incredible
up then.
about that? When you were saying that, I thought you were going to talk about Matt Beatty because he seemingly has done the same thing.
BD baby.
Yeah.
Like how are they teaching? Are they putting something in the OKC PF Chang's that's teaching these kids how to be fan favorite, by the way, for Gavin Lux? I found out today, but yeah, are they putting something that's teaching them clutch or making them clutch? Is there a clutch roid? Is that a thing? Let us
Clutch
know.
steroids.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Let us know in the comments
I'm gonna
below.
need those.
The other guy, look at what Tony Gonsolin did, guys. Like, is he going to be the bullpen savior? Because to have a couple of those dudes, to have him, think about that, him and Uris at the back end of the bullpen who can give you 2 or 3 nasty innings in the playoffs.
I like
We're
nasty innings.
nasty is what I'm saying.
Oh, the Angels took that. It's actually theirs now, apparently.
Well, we don't let minor league teams take our trademark show.
Ooh,
Brad Osmus says they think they're going to make the playoffs.
you
though.
find it. You find the button.
What? That's good. Yeah.
What?
I'm like kind of 2 for 2 today.
And we're all very proud of you.
Thank you.
That is
Appreciate
at
that.
BrookMe3. Apparently, he doesn't follow me.
Not yet.
A real Jess, by the way, says, what's in Austin Barnes? I think it's a type of fish. I'm not sure. But, yeah, Tony Gonsolin, man, like, so much better. The second coming of Tony, of Tony Smokes or the cat shirt guy, which is a debate we got to get into in a second after this. But it's like, it's almost like when he had good defense behind him, he pitched more gooder, even at Colorado, because he didn't have Joc Pederson at first base. That's right. I'm doing it again.
That's another thing.
I'm going through all my pens.
You know, it'd be
today.
great if he just like came out to relieve and he was like, "All right, awesome."
Don't you dare throw my mug.
He's like, I got a different first baseman, one that actually plays first base, and then he's just like kicking the mound, getting ready to warm up, and he looks up at the catcher and Joc's waving at him.
Did you guys ever think that we'd hit a point where it would be July and our best right side of the infield was going to be Tyler White and Chris Negron? Like, come on.
I mean, that's just the way you wrote it up at the beginning of the year, right?
Yeah.
Plus
Tyler
stuff.
White. Yeah, they're doing their thing. I
Max
love Tyler
Muncy plus
White.
size.
You never.
Chunky Muncy.
Oh
my gosh.
That's it right there.
Put it down. I said it. Chunky Muncy.
I'm stealing the credit
Hillary,
too, by the way.
Hillary, do your thing, Chunky Muncy.
Chunky
That
Muncy,
is
that's
that is
good.
trademarked to BrookMe3.
Put it on a shirt right now.
Do something with that, Padres Twitter.
I don't think he's going to like that.
Tyler White will
We
be fine
cannot
with
have
it.
him on the show. He cannot come on the show.
Tyler White? Well,
He's like, "You're the guy who called me Chunky Muncy."
he's like, I was coming over here for some jerky.
I said, "Yeah, my name's Clint Evans."
Yeah.
I heard you all got some jerky over here.
I'm Daniel Preciado.
Too soon. Okay, so guys, the important question: Catman or Tony Smokes for Tony Gonsolin's nickname? What are we going with? Because Tony Smokes, I think, was coined by our own Diamond Hoggers.
I think
believe.
for conversation and like Tony Smokes is the one,
Mm-hmm.
but and maybe the kids out there watching don't remember this, but for all the cat memes that basically started the internet in the early days.
Rest in peace, old internet.
Yeah, exactly. That's like a gold mine of memes you can make, and because he just with the hair and the mustache, the Catman just kind of fits.
Yeah, it really does. You seem to be in a mood over there. You got a whole vibe going.
I've set off Brooke, and I apologize
There's
to
a
everyone.
lot going on today, guys. Tim says Tyler White looks like me in a jersey.
No, who's that mean jersey? I've got the beard.
Oh man.
Oh, boy.
I want more. Give me more. What's going on?
But people like Tony Smokes, and I like Tony Smokes.
He was
I
good.
think it's a good name.
Plus stuff.
Yeah, well, I don't remember where the stat was, but I think Tim had said his fastball was sitting at 96 and his splitter was sitting at like upper 80s, which is, I mean, phenomenal. That's it. That's all I had to say about that, was that it was good.
The dude had nasty stuff going on in Colorado. Tony Smokes, our boy, and he'll be up and in that bullpen.
Kevin Durant called him Dirty Goose.
Ooh, dirty goose.
I kind of like that.
He's
It's kind of weird.
goose.
I kind of like it, though.
The most important thing is, guys, it's Dustin May season. On Friday at the stadium. Is this it? Is this like the next coming of Walker Buehler for us?
I told I told my aunt that picked me up from the station that
From the rehab clinic? Uh-huh.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I told her, I said, if you want to see him tomorrow, that's going to be our next Walker Buehler. I mean, it's funny that they call him Ginger Guard because his stuff does kind of play as a comparison. It really does.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like if Thor was still good, oh yeah.
Ooh.
Got him.
It's the other Thor from the Avengers, the big belly Thor now.
So there's Ginger Thor, there's Ginger Guard, and then there's Rojo Thor, which I came up with today when titling this episode.
Oh.
It's Rojo Thor, right? That's the nickname we're going with.
I like it.
And he'll be number 69.
Oh.
These are my plans.
Nice.
So we talked because the other guy, Gavin Lux, Gavo, my good pal Gabbo over
Gabbo.
here. We chatted a little bit earlier, and he had some thoughts on his teammates that are raking here in the show, but more importantly, Dustin May, and we're gonna roll that beautiful bean footage.
I'm so pumped up for him, man, and obviously Dustin making his debut Friday night. We roomed together in the AZL in 2016, and we've kind of taken every step together these past 3 years. So I gave him a big old hug yesterday, and man, I'm super pumped for him, man. He's nasty, and I think, you know, everyone, if you haven't seen that yet, it's going to be fun to watch that Friday night. So I'm pumped up for him too, man. He's got probably just as good a stuff as anybody in baseball too. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, everybody, we're beyond excited that Dustin's getting the call because, well, one, he's just that you look at him and it's like, that's a baseball dude right there. That's a dude I want to see chucking 99 two-seam movement at some, you know, behind some people's heads or something like that. And we're very excited.
Man, yeah. I think everyone's gonna love him, man. He's got some fire to him. So
they're best buddies.
He has fire to him.
They're buddies. And we're happy and we're singing and we're colored or something like that. It's like, we're brothers. We're happy.
AJ, help.
Back in our day stuff,
Yeah,
you wouldn't understand.
Yeah, it's for the young.
But it's really cool to hear Gavin like that stoked. They're buddies. They've like he was talking about. They've went through just about every different point in the system together. They keep graduating. No, we're not going with Turnerson. We got Storm Ginger. We got a lot of names coming up.
May
Turner's
Hemsworth?
son.
What?
It's like, I don't know. I mean, that's a long.
SPF 100. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
I like that.
That's a really good one, actually.
and somebody did catch up on the weigh-ins. It was a bad one for me because we never know when those things are going to come out of. When we're coming out of the clip, so we're over here kind of messing around. But we're happy. We're gonna have him. We're gonna have Gavin up real soon, and it's gonna be swell. This was the thing for me, guys. Like, do we take this as maybe a silent alarm for May coming up that maybe Rich Hill is a little bit more far gone? He's not progressing as well as they hoped.
I don't think it's so much that as it is situational. I think they fell into a place where a lot of their starters are hurt at one time. Ross Stripling's down. Rich Hill's down. Everyone's kind of overworked a little bit right now. They really don't want to use Julio in a starting role right now, and I get that, especially when you think about his innings cap that he's supposed to have, allegedly. And we kind of all agreed we're probably going to see him in the relief role in the playoffs anyways, so there's not really a point to getting him into the starting rotation, especially if you don't need it. If they're going to utilize openers, then, you know, might as well just use them like that. It's fine. We can do that. I think it's more situational than anything else. Rich Hill, I think they are slow playing him, but I think there's purpose behind that. I don't think it's because it's any worse than it should be or they thought it was, but I think it is just like we don't need him right now, so we can let him get healthy. We can let him take the time to do that. Whereas in the past, they would need to rush him back, and that's why, you know, especially with those blisters that he had pop up so many different times where it was like we need him back in, you know, 2 weeks because we're gonna have one spot starter, and then what? It's like, all right, bring him back, and then he comes out for 2 innings and you see him rubbing his hand again. It's like, there it goes again. Yeah. We're in a position now where we don't need to have him out there. We don't need to rush him back. So I think realistically, he's probably okay. It does concern me a little bit that we haven't heard anything. That's generally concerning. He did get on the right.
Two days ago, he threw another like 45 pitches.
Right. So
but it's still flat ground. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's not throwing off a mound. He's not throwing in live situations. I don't know. He's probably going to get a rehab start, I would imagine, or at least, you know, a simulated game. I don't know what he's going to go through, especially him at his age. But I think he's all right. I think
he's probably going to pitch for Rancho in the playoffs.
I was having a conversation with a friend the other day where it was like, you know, talking about, you know, is there even a spot? Like, what does the starting rotation look like come playoff time? And this was before the trade deadline. So, you know, obviously we were talking about that as well. But it was like, you know, who's your 1, 2, and 3? And I was like, number one, Ryu's my number one. Absolutely. Walker's probably my number 2. Kershaw's probably my number 3. Probably.
Best number 3.
But then I was like, number 4, I was like, I think actually I feel more comfortable with Rich Hill on the mound in a playoff game than I do with Clayton Kershaw. And that's a big thing for me to say because I'm a very big Clayton Kershaw fan. And I always will be, and that'll never change. But in terms of how well he's performed in the playoffs for us, I mean, just think about like some of the performances he's put on in the playoffs for us. Like he has been like, he ages down during playoffs. Like you just see him turn it up to a whole nother level of intensity that you just don't always see from him. He does always play with a high level of intensity, but I mean, when he was pitching against the Red Sox, it was like, whoa, this
Sometimes
is wild.
It does play against him.
It does. It can. Yeah.
Plays often against him in the World Series, at least the last 2 years.
Right. But in terms of, you know, him over Kershaw, you know, I feel like if those are your two options for 3 and 4, and you're trying to decide between which one of those you want to go 3 and 4, it's a pretty freaking good choice to have. So I think they really are just making sure he's ready for playoff time, because that's all that matters right now. We're how many games up? 14.5, and 3 up on the Yankees in the best record or whatever.
1.5 up on the Yankees. But yeah, we got plenty of leash. I understand that, but again, I've said it time and time again. The most important thing is that this team does get home field advantage because they have 45 wins at home, something like that. They need to play at home, and thank God for a 10-game homestand right now, led off by Carrot Top, as Mr. Gary Lee put in here the stream. Thanks for hanging out with us there. Aren't you supposed to be on a vacation, bro?
Hi, Gary.
He doesn't do that.
Yeah, he don't believe in
Gary
no
doesn't know
vacation.
how to vacation.
Anyways, yeah, it's going to be really cool. And then it's another one of those, it's a good problem to have situations that we're in right now.
I like good problems.
Mm-hmm. We're very proud of you for that.
Thank you. Game starts in 14 minutes.
Another, to quickly start getting to the point of wrapping this up of, the defense, I want to talk about Joc. I'm going to do it. I get to complete the thoughts.
This is your turn. Go ahead.
Today, David Roberts announced that Joc Pederson will no longer be playing any games at first base. This is where if I had it all queued up and if I was okay with us getting blocked on YouTube and Facebook for having the music, it'd be celebrate good times, come out, celebration. This is the best day of my life, guys. Joc Pederson, the world's worst first baseman in recorded history, and I've seen a lot of bad first basemen, believe you me, is not going to play he's not going to be placed at the position anymore because he never played it. Did you not see him just get so further and further from being engaged in the game as these last week to 10 days have gone on? I know you've gone off about the defense and in your mind and everything.
I mean, on
Diamond
Twitter, on Diamond Hoggers. No, on Twitter, we call him large adult son or jock toddler and all that.
Yeah.
And after, how when a child does something wrong or poorly, at first they get upset because they want to do it right, and then after, instead of getting more angry, they just. That's kind of what we've seen from Joc. He's having fun with it because if he doesn't have fun with it, he's gonna cry.
Yeah.
And it's not. And before
I
people,
love that you're just pulling from your fatherhood here.
Yeah, exactly. People are going to jump on me for it. I don't blame Joc. The dude was either told, this is what you're doing, or do you want at bats? Then you're going to play first.
Yeah.
You're going to jump on that, and you're going to try. And he obviously isn't throwing in the towel out there. He's trying, but you can't learn a new position in the middle of the season. You just can't.
No, you absolutely. The way they did this was all wrong. He's dabbled at first base throughout his career, just in BP, just to play around. But I'm pretty sure he's going to have nightmares about the position for the rest of his life.
And first base is all footwork. It's so much footwork, and that takes a long time.
He's choppy. He is a choppy human.
So I will tell you the reason why I think Dave really wanted to make an effort to do it. A lot of people think that the best outfield alignment is Joc in the outfield. I do not think that. If you look at sprint speed and StatCast, he is one of the slowest guys on the freaking team.
What is he at? Do you know?
Low.
Oh.
Low. Very low.
Because-
Below max Muncy speed. Which Muncy can motor, so I understand. But he's not
You
good.
mean Tyler White light?
Diet Tyler White?
Diet Tyler White.
I'm
There are
coming up
so-
with some good ones today,
Gary,
guys.
I hope you're still there because we got some good names.
We
Tyler-
need some shirts, guys.
Yet he,
Tyler Off-White.
yet,
Tyler off.
yet he didn't know what Osh was.
That's true. Orchard Supply Hardware, I was like, oh, yeah, that place.
Is that still around? Does anybody know?
What about Osh?
Anyway, they're done. They're done with it. You're going to see more Bellinger for it just needs to happen. I don't care if they're trying to force this Gold Glove on Bellinger in right field. I don't care when it comes at the expense of your team winning or your team just getting into terrible habits. 39 errors or 40 errors in 40 games since he took or 33 games since he first set foot at first base.
It's got to be some kind of record for most errors with wins.
Mm-hmm. And he only
I'm sure there's something
only
there.
recorded
Rick?
six errors on his ledger at first base in 20 games, which is just astonishing at first base to collect that many errors. But think of how many balls, like the one where he couldn't catch it over first base. I think in Colorado is his final demise over there.
That was it. Or the one where he deflected it.
Yeah, there was that one. There was one. All of those aren't errors, but they should be. they're unforced errors in a way. And you think about it, how good the rotation, the ERA has been in the rotation over the last since like May. It could be even better if it wasn't for that 40-game stint there or whatever it is.
Frank brings up a good point. He says, can Cody still win a Gold Glove with the amount of games he'll have played in right field by the season's end? And I think the answer is yes. By the time he's done with the season, he's not going to play at first base every day. From what it sounds like, he's probably still going to play a lot of right field. But I think it's still possible. And given the number of fantastic plays he's playing and the fact, I hate to say it, the fact that he is hitting so well plays into Gold Gloves for sure, guys. No matter how much you think it doesn't, it absolutely does, because it's voted on by writers, and writers are humans, and writers are garbage like us.
That was dark.
Yeah, I just needed to point it out to everybody that the system's flawed.
But we're handsome, like Michael Duarte said.
Well, yeah, I think he was talking to Mello.
Well, when in Rome. But the important thing is Joc's not playing first base. No, I mean, Muncie's going to get some time over there at 1B. Tyler White, as long as he's still alive in the Dodgers, going to get time over there at 1B.
Chihuly says, I think I seen Tyler White buying lawn chairs at Osh. I like that one.
Damn, everybody is
He works in the nursery
today.
there, I
People
think.
are killing it.
I feel bad that we got to bail out for the game, but
You guys are crushing it today.
the guys have been great. Like, I mean, we still got a last bit of section here because we do have to touch on. We don't have a tweet plugged in, but it's the tweet of the week. We all know it, guys. Amir Garrett tried to take on the entire Pirates organization, not even the organization. Like there was strength and conditioning coaches coming out of nowhere.
Dude. He literally ran at 7 guys and just like started. Did you see the breakdown? Yeah, the breakdown when he was like, he's like, then you got the strength and conditioning coach in here. He's like, if that's not a strength and conditioning coach, then I don't know what is. Dude, it was so great, and the way people have like put music over it and made GIFs out of it is just so phenomenal. And the cop that like just comes into screen and like doesn't look at it, and I'm like, it's like by far my favorite part of it.
Not my job, bro.
He's like every Securitas security guard you've ever seen.
Yeah, just like
looking the other way.
I'm not getting, and then the Chris Archer just getting wrecked.
Yeah,
wrecked.
Like hey, everybody! Oh no!
He gets in and then just gets on his back and everyone's on top of him, and
Chris,
then
turtle.
Yeah, and then finding out David Eckstein exists and seeing that he was getting whooped on by the manager of the Reds. There's just so much to it. And then there was one of the Pirates players, I forget who it was, that was like barking at Puig, and Puig starts coming at him, and he starts backing up, and he keeps barking at him.
Then
he's
like
on
that
the
crick dude. Or
yeah,
something.
he's on the other side of the thing, still yelling at him.
Come get
and
me,
Puig's
come
like
get me,
pushing
come
people
get
out
me.
of the way. I put up a tweet on the Dodgers Nation thing where it was like
The thing.
there was we ride with Puig, we die with Puig. Yeah. People were very responsive to that, and they liked it a lot.
Puig was no longer a Cincinnati Red.
That's my favorite part about it. In the span of 5 minutes, he got traded, got into a brawl, and got suspended. Like, boom, 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 one after
he
another.
became a Cleveland, whatever they're called, Indian.
I tweeted out my typical dad brand joke. I said, if someone had told me that a player would be in a brawl, traded, and then suspended in a 15-minute time span, I would tell you when Puigs fly.
Gold.
That's it.
That's how good it was.
Oh, yeah.
That's how good it
Hallelujah.
was.
Top tier.
That was biblically
That's your Arco,
good.
top tier of the play of the
Arco,
game.
top tier play
or
of the game.
whatever. Not a sponsor.
You got to do it more of a Joe Davis
Spencer
voice.
wants to know if I could take on Amir Garrett.
I don't know. I mean, Amir Garrett can't land any punches.
That's true, but he came at me with the intensity and ferocity of a freaking full-grown bear. So I don't know, man. If somebody comes at me that strong, I'm probably backing up. I don't know about you guys. I'm a coward.
Canada can host the fight, is what we found out here in the stream.
Well, I'm probably not going to be there.
Yeah, you're not going to be allowed. We need to get John Boy on the show. That's what Zed says. We need to find a way to get John Boy over
That
here.
would be great for him to break down everything.
We love you, Puig. We thank you for bringing us one last highlight.
We miss you.
As a Cincinnati Red, I feel like I feel bad for Puig, man, because like he thought he was going to be there for the rest of his life, even though he knew what his contract was.
Yeah.
And
it's the Reds.
Yeah. He's sad.
Now he's going to a winner at least.
He's going to a team that's killing it. I mean, quite frankly, Cleveland crushed the trade deadline, man. They came out like killers in that thing. Did you see Bauer's going away video?
That was
thing?
great.
Not a big fan of Bauer in general, but I was like, that's a pretty good going away video. He had to have had that made like a month ago.
No.
There's no
He's
way.
got a whole video crew.
I know, but there's no way.
Was
he
it made
this-
by drones?
Yes.
There's no way he made this like last night though. Like
Yeah, it was definitely some
did
preparation.
you see he was at the game,
Yes,
dude?
He pulled a
And he
Joe
just,
Kelly. He pulled a Joe
He
Kelly.
looked so sad, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of depressing.
Where I felt they missed the mark in that video is that he didn't say something like, you know what, I did some stupid things and then have the drone thing.
I thought he was
and
gonna
then
have the drone
him
in.
chuck the ball. Into,
They should have showed that clip where he's just like pouring blood down his arm though, because that's I
Yeah.
mean that's a pretty badass clip in terms of baseball. That's like, it turns out all the guys who bleed during games, playoff games, are pretty bad people.
Yeah.
You got Schilling, you got
Schilling
him.
in power.
So there's that.
Well, guys, we've had a lot of fun here today, but the Dodgers are about to play, and we can't tell them no. We don't know enough of them yet. We're trying.
Not yet. We can get the schedule changed.
We're
Eventually.
trying, but guys, we appreciate you for hanging out. AJ, thanks for coming out. We hopefully had some fun.
Yeah.
Flew
Thank you for
all the
having
way
me.
out from Tennessee just to
Just
be
for
on this.
this.
Just
show.
for this.
Just
He's
for
not
this.
going to the game.
That's what kind of scratch we have around here. We could fly in people on their own dime.
Yeah.
You can find more of us, more Dodgers Nation, on DodgersNation.com, which is on the internet. All three of us right there, Brooke, on occasion.
On occasion, yeah.
He got his first article of the month today. I'm proud of
Did
you.
it come into? I did write an article
Yeah,
today.
hell
Look at
yeah.
me go, guys. I'm ready to rock.
He's back.
Thank you very much to our guest at AJ on the guitar. That's your Twitter handle, right?
That's me,
There
yeah.
you go.
Yeah,
you
you
can
can
find
find
him on Twitter. Make sure you follow him for all the latest and greatest in Dodgers news and trends. I am at BrookMe3. This guy over here is at RealFRG on Twitter and Instagram, and he also likes to hit that thing on occasion. We are at Dodger Nation on Twitter and at Official Dodger Nation on Instagram.
We're gonna
Huge
see
thank
you.
you.
We're gonna see you at the ballpark tomorrow. By the way, guys, just saying, be there. on
We
Friday.
will be there. We will be in the loge. We will be drunk. I mean, watching the game. And
drunk.
make sure you come find us, take a picture with us, because we like to meet people.
Yeah.
We're not like famous. We just really like to meet people and have friends because we don't have friends.
T said she was in a slam. She's in a shotgun 24 with Dodgers Randy, I believe.
Yeah, that's true. Dodgers
Yeah.
Randy, please hit me up.
I'm really excited for that.
I will film
that
it.
particular aspect of it.
I'm filming it, absolutely.
And she also will do a palm reading for you if you feel so inclined. That's at Tammy Tika on the tweetsters.
Yes.
And yeah. Thank you guys for all your questions, all your comments. Thank you for hanging out with us. And you bet we will see you
Not next Thursday.
not next Thursday.
We don't know when we're doing it next week, but we're gonna be getting drunk on Thursday. Okay, bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.